final statement. I recognize the Russian Federation. You have the floor. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I won't take up as much of your time as the Ukrainian delegation has. I won't abuse your kindness. With regards to L-28, I don't want to comment on the nonsense of alleged mass violations of human rights in the Crimea, which our Ukrainian colleagues have included in this draft. Even the reports of the Human Rights Monitoring Mission in the Ukraine make it clear that, unlike the Ukraine, no one in the Crimea is shelling residential neighborhoods from large caliber weapons and mortars. No one is burning people alive, as was the case in Odessa on May 2nd. No one is killing journalists. No one is holding Nazi marches. No one is prohibiting anyone from talking in one's mother tongue. The population of Crimea has realized its right, one enshrined in the UN Charter, its right to self-determination through a free, peaceful vote that complies with all international standards. Any discussions around the reunification of the peninsula with the Russian Federation are pointless. The Republic of Crimea and the city of Sevastopol have been fully integrated into Russia's political, legal, and economic space. It won't be possible to punish the population of Crimea for its free choice in favor of Russia. And there's no need to hypocritically express sympathy for the Crimeans that are allegedly suffering under the yoke of the occupation regime. The US and European countries, the co-sponsors of the resolution, have since 2014 been implementing targeted sanctions that are specifically meant to work against the interests of the peninsula's population. And these include a ban on economic relations, visa refusals, and non-recognition of documents, and so on. And seemingly these measures are meant to alleviate the plight of the Crimean people under occupation. This not even to mention Ukraine, which over the past 5 years has been acting completely outrageously with respect to Crimea's residents. In the winter of 2015, electrical supply was cut to 575 cities and towns, in which nearly half of the peninsula's populations lived. Since April 2014 and to date, water supply has been cut along the North Crimean Canal, one that accounts for 85% of Crimea's water supply. You can see how Ukrainian reality freakishly combines concern for human rights while at the same time being a crime against humanity. That is why the human rights rhetoric coming from our colleagues, the co-sponsors of the resolution, is utter nonsense. Mr. Chairman, our Ukrainian colleagues repeatedly talk about the need to ensure unfettered access to Crimea for international human rights monitoring bodies. We have repeatedly confirmed and confirm once again that Russia is prepared to consider all requests to visit Crimea on a non-discriminatory basis, and following the same criteria as access to other territorial units of the Russian Federation. Independent entities, NGOs, parliamentary and business delegations from all regions of the world, and even representatives of European human rights institutions do just that and encounter no obstacles whatsoever. So what is hindering the UN from doing the same? The answer is simple: this very resolution. One that forces them to travel to the non-existent Autonomous Republic of Crimea, Ukraine. And there are many examples of such distortions and absurdities in the resolution. I could provide well-founded objections to every single paragraph of the text, but I am particularly concerned by the following, and I ask you to listen closely. In the resolution, Ukraine abuses militaristic terminology. It insists on trying to present the situation in Crimea as a certain armed conflict, using words such as aggression, occupation, annexation. Dear colleagues, in a few minutes, the names of our countries will appear on the screen, and next to them will be lights, green, yellow, and red. A green light will mean that that specific country stands against the Russian Federation, its territorial integrity, and is prepared to define relations as Kiev wishes, including under the rules of the 1949 Geneva Conventions and the first optional protocol thereto. I urge you to seriously think about this. Thank you.
Je vous remercie, Monsieur le
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation.